I know. Instead of my usual POV video style, I'm actually showing my face today. And it's pretty much because today's video topic is a bit more serious than what I usually film. Today we're gonna be talking about how I went from a regular W-2 job to working DoorDash, UberEats, and Grubhub. And we're gonna be talking about it while I work. So we got my main delivery bike behind me, Anioki. It's got the backpack on the rack and ready to go. Let's head to the mall and see if we can get any orders. When I had left my other job, I was actually making $92,000 a year. I know it's not 100K like the title says, but I was on my way there. If I had stayed for like a couple more months, I would have gotten a raise to reach over 100,000. It was one of those jobs where everybody gets a raise depending on the length of time you've been working there. It's kind of like some of those union jobs. Now, I can't say exactly what I did, but I can give you guys a hint. I was pretty much working for the county, processing paperwork. As you guys can see, we just got to the mall. Let's just chill for a bit so that I can talk to you guys. I'm gonna park right over here. So I entered that field of work when I was about 25 years old. It didn't come easy either. After college, I tried so hard to land a job in that position, but I actually got a ton of rejection. I actually gave up and lost all hope, and I became a personal trainer for a couple years. That's why I'm made out of 100% steel, you know? But yeah, after a couple years, I sent out some more applications, and luckily that time, I actually landed a job. It felt so surreal knowing that my hard work and all those rejections that I endured were about to pay off. I was about to have a decent paying job with predictable income and great benefits. Ooh, I just got an order. Let's see, $11.50 for 8 miles? Nope, I don't think so. Once I actually started the job, I began to feel a little bit out of place. There was a certain culture in that environment that didn't sit well with me, but I tried to ignore it, and I did for some time. I actually started to get anxiety before going into a shift. Almost every day, I would get to work a little bit early, and I would just sit there in the parking structure listening to calming music just to kind of relax my brain. I was literally counting down the minutes and then the seconds before I would have to get out of my car and check into work. I thought the anxiety would go away with time and as I got better with my job. You know how like in the beginning, things can be a little stressful, but the more you get used to your job, the more ordinary your day becomes, you know, like you just get used to everything. But that didn't really happen. I think I was actually slowly getting depressed too. My whole family and my girlfriend, who is now my fiance, they all knew how hard I worked for that job. I talked about chasing that dream for a while, and I had finally landed a position in my dream career. So in a way, I kind of felt trapped. I felt like I couldn't quit because I knew others that wished they were in the position that I was in. Who was I to give up a good paying job with amazing benefits while others were struggling paycheck to paycheck, right? I probably felt trapped because I didn't want to feel ungrateful for everything I had. But then my brain began to drift, which is usually what happens when you have anxiety. You create all these scenarios in your head and they probably never come true. I started to think about one of the classes I took when I was in training and how we had an instructor come in to teach us about mental health. They showed us a young man in his 20s, also Asian American, and unfortunately, he ended up taking his own life. The whole goal of that class was pretty much to tell us that if we needed support, go talk to one of your friends or go get help with one of the resources they offered. But I guess they were highlighting the fact that, just got an order. $13 for 9 miles. Oh, I can't take that one either. So I guess they were highlighting the fact that this guy who took his own life, he felt like he couldn't talk to anyone, which ultimately led to his him taking his own life. So with me getting anxious and starting to get depressed, I couldn't help but put myself in that guy's shoes. I was honestly probably beginning to feel like what that guy did. I didn't feel like living anymore either. That's how much that job was messing with my head. At that point, I knew I had to leave or else I would end up like that guy. I just had to get out of there. Thankfully, I already had another part-time job lined up down by the docks, which made it a bit easier to leave that county job. I wasn't gonna be making the same amount of money and I would have no benefits. But you know what? It was an escape and that's all I needed. While I was working at that part-time job at the docks, working with the giant ships coming in and out of the ports, I signed up for DoorDash and Grubhub, and there was a wait list. I was already on UberEats actually, but one app by itself, you can't really make good money. So I waited and waited and I finally got off the wait list for DoorDash and Grubhub, and I started messing around with using 3 apps at the same time, and I was able to make decent, okay money. Not amazing money, but you know, an okay amount. But that's me working like 8 to 12 hours a day, you know? I'm really pumping and hustling. Most of the time I'm working 10 to 12 hours. With these apps, you really gotta put in the time. And honestly, I fell in love with not having a boss and a strict work schedule. It's so nice not having someone tell you what to do all the time. You pretty much just work for yourself and you work as much as you want or as little as you want. And that is just a freedom that is so amazing to have. Now, I didn't make this video to tell you guys to go and quit your jobs and jump into delivery apps. Every market is different, so don't do that. You need your job to eat, pay for shelter, medical bills, pretty much just to live. But it didn't make sense for me to stay at a job that made me not want to live anymore, if that makes sense. If anyone that's watching right now is in an environment that makes them question whether or not to take their own life, please, 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 please go talk to a family member, a friend. Nothing is ever worth taking your own life, especially a job. Money will always come and go, but your life won't. Now you guys know my story and how I ended up being a full-time e-bike food delivery person. I don't plan on doing this for the rest of my life. I'm currently working on an exit strategy, like everyone should if they do food deliveries, because you know, robots will probably take our jobs one day, who knows. And plus, it's good to diversify your skill set and try to make money in more than one ways. I'm gonna end this video here. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Please give this video a thumbs up and a like, subscribe if you want, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.